I just want to say I'm not a superstar. I'm just a small person trying to help people, that's all.
Yeah.
You know, trying my best to help other people, to give young people a chance. Because I always believe that if I'm in education, this is my calling. My calling is not to earn money. My calling is to help other people. Yeah. So when they left their country, they only had a dream of having a better life. And I saw how they struggled when they were studying in Singapore. They had to work an average of about, say, 10 to 12 hours a day, and sometimes on weekends, they work about 18 to 19 hours.
Alright people, welcome back to Mave Mason Unfiltered, where everything is 100% raw, 100% unfiltered. Today with me, right, as someone more generous than Warren Buffett, more magnanimous than Gandhi, and kinder than Mother Teresa. This guy, right, is the only teacher in Singapore who gave 6 students more than $150,000 to further their studies overseas. He is none other than the one in Singapore, and the only Mr. Frankie Yee.
Wow. Hey, don't say like that.
Teacher, you know.
No, don't say that. I mean, I cannot be greater than Mother Teresa.
So, Mave Mason team would like to give Mr. Frankie Yee a gift, and it's none other than Yu Ying Sun bird's nest. Not sponsored, okay? Because we, you know, Frankie teach until very tired, so we want him to sleep well. Sleep well. Yeah.
Wow,
Drink more
thank
bird's
you.
nest, okay?
Okay,
then you
thank
can
you.
fly higher.
Okay.
How old are you?
Let's say I've seen quite a few summers, and I leave it there.
Wow,
I'm coming to 60 actually. I'm
coming to 60, yeah. Hey, not bad, leh. Then still so hip hop,
In life must be happy lah. If you're happy, then okay. What?
Very good. So, how many years have you been like a teacher?
This would be my 27th year of teaching.
27. And what were you doing before that?
Well, all along I've been a part-time lecturer, so I did sales before. Then along the way, I also was heading a private school, and then after that, I left and went to freelance teaching. So I was also teaching in Polytechnic.
Right. And so right now, are you teaching in a government school, private school?
I started teaching in a government school as a relief teacher. That was back in 1994. And then after that, I went on to do freelance teaching in the night, but in the day I was doing sales.
Right.
So right now, where I'm actually teaching in various private institutions.
Okay. So do students call you professor?
Some of them do.
Really? You're a professor?
Yeah. Some of them do.
What's your highest educational qualification?
Right now, I'm doing my doctorate. So some students are really calling me doctor just for fun, you know.
Then next time I must call you doctor lah.
No need lah, no need. Just I want that title. If you call me that, it motivates me. You see, so that I must finish my doctorate degree.
Okay, so the truth is actually, right, Frankie used to be my lecturer when I was, you know, when I was in what, 20s, in my 20s?
Yes.
And I was in his class, and I tell you something, like my life changed, because if you think that I speak eloquently, right, and you think that if some of my former students, if you can remember my voice, right, if you think that I can teach well also, right, it's also because of this guy.
Wow, don't say that, don't say. You know, when I first knew you, you were a handsome young man.
Yeah.
What happened to your face now?
Yeah, look at that. I tell you already, if I take off my mask, people run away. You all don't believe, right? It's the truth. And so how many students have you taught, like, in your entire career?
Well, if you take, I think on the average, a year I must have taught about 1,000 students. So 27 years should be about 27 to 30,000.
You can fill indoor stadiums 3 times.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 98% of the students, I cannot remember who they are. That 2%, one of them is you lah.
Okay, very good. 2%, one of them is me.
Yeah, correct.
So like that, you can be better than Blackpink, you know.
Really?
Yeah, you hold concert, they hold two nights only, you can hold 3 nights.
Not many. And also in 90s, I was actually bankrupt because, you know, I chalk up a lot of debts. So I thought I needed to earn extra income.
Right.
So I jumped into the teaching profession because I needed the money.
So are you still a bankrupt?
Not now.
Okay, because those of you who are in debt and those of you who are bankrupt before, there's always the light at the end of the tunnel. If this guy can do it, right, you guys can do it too.
I think so.
Right. Okay. So you need to share with us lah. How much do you earn?
Now, on the average, I think On the average
Yeah.
per hour, because I'm a freelance, so we earn by the hour about 100, maybe 120, 130. But there is a disclaimer.
Yeah.
I don't teach 24 hours a day. I don't teach for 12 months a year.
I see.
So there will be term breaks. So during term breaks, we don't earn anything.
And it's true, there's no like dental benefits, health benefits, no
CPF,
insurance.
nothing, yeah, correct.
So very cham lah.
Not very cham lah. I mean, it depends on what you want, isn't it? I mean, if you want the flexibility, then freelance lecturing is good. But don't think that it is you can earn a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same. It's just that it depends on what you want.
$100 an hour, 10 hours is 1,000 a day.
But you don't teach 10 hours a day, what? I mean, how can you possibly teach? And even if you can teach 10 hours a day, it's not every day, right? Because students go for term break and then you don't get to teach. Right? So I only work something like about maybe 9.5 months a year.
Oh, yeah.
So the other 3 months, 2.5 months, that's how I eat grass.
But what do you say to those people who say that what you are doing is crossing the lines? Because you got to have some boundaries between teacher and student. Even the schools who employ you would think that, they will want that. What do you say to those that they say that you're crossing the line?
Firstly, at the point of time when I decided to help them, they were no longer my students.
Okay.
So if they were still in my class, then probably I'll be more careful.
Right.
But they were no longer my students because they have decided to leave the school.
Yeah.
And that was when I said, okay, since you're no longer a student of the school and you have spoken to me about your dream and your hope, let's see how I can help you. But if they were my students, probably I will have to be more careful. Yeah.
Right. And because as a teacher, right, sometimes even though while you're teaching them, the students will come to you and then they have their own form of troubles. Some of them may be suicidal, some of them they are depressed and they really have problems and they got no one to talk to.
Yes.
I don't think it's right to say, no, you cannot talk to teachers. You can, but teachers just got to handle it like professionally.
Correct.
Right? So what motivated you to put your retirement at risk? Because just now you say you're about like 60 already. And then you told me about this dream house that you have. And you put all these things at risk, right? For these 6 students, just to give them an education overseas. Like, what motivated you?
You see, they were my students in the class and I saw how they actually struggled. The 6 boys actually came from one of the poorest countries in the world.
Yeah.
So when they left their country, they only had a dream of having a better life. And I saw how they struggled when they were studying in Singapore. They had to work an average of about, say, 10 to 12 hours a day. And sometimes on weekends, they work about 18 to 19 hours. One of the boys came and talked to me and told me that he wanted to go to US or Italy or Latvia. There's this place where the universities would give them 100% scholarship.
Okay.
But if you go to all these places, you will end up in some universities that nobody has heard of. So that was when I told him, why don't you try Australian university to go into a proper university and get a proper degree? And that was how it all started. What motivated me to do so? Because I saw their passion in getting their conviction in getting a good education. And it was also some of the things that they told me why they wanted to get a good degree was because they wanted to give themselves a chance to have a better life so that their family will also have a better life. So while they were studying in Singapore, they were working, pay their school fees, and at the same time, they had to send money home to support their siblings. So I saw their hardship and I saw their motivation and their drive. And I actually told one of the boys, I said, the only problem was they were born in the wrong country.
Yeah. So you're a multi-millionaire, I can just throw money out like that.
Actually, no, I'm not. Actually, I'm a very poor man now, When I started off helping them, honestly, I thought I was able to raise some money from students whom I taught in the past who had gone on to become very successful. So I actually reached out to friends, relatives, some of my ex-students. So I really thought I could raise some money to help them. See, what I wanted to do was to raise enough money to send them for the first year. So while they were in Australia, they will work for the first year to save enough money for their second year. And they will work in the second year to save enough money for the third year. So they need to go there first, all right, and settle down. And I thought I would be able to raise money to support them at least for the first year.
Right. So a little learning lesson here. When I asked Frankie whether if he is a multi-millionaire when he did this, and he says no. And a lot of you want to do good, right? You don't have to wait till you hit your millions to do good. You can always do good whenever and wherever. So you said that you reached out to your friends and families to help you to alleviate this burden. And did anyone help you?
The unfortunate thing is nobody did.
But hold on, you got a good heart, but I'm sure that you have helped them in the past before, so they would have at least give you a few hundreds or a few $1,000s to help you with this.
Well, to each their own, and nobody is obliged. I mean, how many people could remember the good things that you did for them in the past?
Right.
So I can't deny the fact that in the course of raising funds, I actually lost quite a number of friends.
Oh, wow.
And it was also from this incident that I actually truly know who are the good weather friends, who are the true friends, who are not even my friends.
Right.
So it was a bit disappointing, but I expected it because I can't expect anybody to help me.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Right. Some people even called you stupid.
Yes.
And what will you say to these people?
To be honest with you, I received quite a number of snide remarks. Those people who say that I'm stupid, I just have this to say to them that one day I'm going to have the last laugh when I see my 6 boys graduate.
Yeah. Right. You said you sent them to Australia. So some of these people who gave you snide remarks or called you stupid, right? They also said, why need to send to Australia? So prestigious. Why cannot send to somewhere else? An alternative solution that is cheaper.
You see, when these boys left their country, coming from a poor country, growing up, they thought the whole world is only made up of Australia and US and nothing else. They have never heard of many other places. I just give you an example. One of the boys, when I first met him, we went for a walk at East Coast, and I was surprised how come he was looking out to the sea for 10 to 15 minutes. And that was when I realized that his country is actually landlocked and he has never seen the sea before.
Yeah.
So he was mesmerized by the view of the sea, Right. So you can imagine these people are like frogs living in the well, thinking of what the world is outside of the well. That was their dream, to settle in either US or Australia.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have plans on earning back this money?
Well, I have to work hard to earn back the money that I've given out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I sold away my house in my retirement home in Genting because I can't afford it anymore.
Right.
So what happened here is that, but I think that it's a good cause. It's a good cause. And I definitely need to work harder the next few years to earn back the money because I'm coming to 60 and I need the money to retire.
Right. So those of you who have teaching assignments for our dear lecturer, Mr. Frankie Yee, right? You got to start hiring him already. So more students can have, more aspiring students, right, can go overseas and get their education and all, right?
I can't afford to sponsor everybody, no.
I know this is not about getting returns. It's not about being on a podcast right now to get all this fame and whatsoever. But how about these 6 boys that you have helped? Right? Would you want them to repay some form of kindness and all that?
Well, the 6 of them actually told me that we will not say thank you to you, but we will definitely return whatever that you have given us when we can afford it. There is no need for us to say thank you to you. We will use our action.
So it's like a loan like that,
let's see it as an investment, investing in their future.
Right.
Yeah.
So instead of your dream house, tell us more about your dream house.
I actually have a house in Genting. I bought a house in Genting. That was really for my retirement.
Right. You're very strategic, you know, not? You buy in Genting, then you can walk to the casino.
I don't gamble, I don't gamble. So I sold that away, and the boys, the 6 boys actually told me that one day they will buy back the house for me.
Okay.
Now, whether is it true or not, I don't care. But at least I know that I've given the 6 boys a chance, a fighting chance in life, to break through that vicious cycle of poverty.
Yeah. But you say investment, so that means they give you back 6 houses.
I don't think of that, honestly. I don't think of that. My only hope is that the 6 of them can become successful.
Yeah.
The reason is because I don't think I'm helping 6 people. I'm helping 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 because their children will become better, will have a better life. Their children's children will also have a better life, right?
So earlier you said because of this, right? Now you're very poor already.
Yes.
Right? And you know, like as men, we talk about money. You've got no money in pocket, right? In the pocket now. When you walk around, you feel a little bit like some form of insecurity there. So when you are alone, while these 6 students have already left you because they already go study, right? And now you're alone, and you think about it. Do you have any regrets?
No regrets at all. Honestly, no regrets.
Answer very fast, sure.
No regrets at all. That's why I could answer you so fast, because honestly, till now, I have no regrets. Even though my bank account is almost down to nothing. But the thought of these 6 boys having a better future, I feel that everything is worth it. Everything is really worth it, because people have asked me this question, what do I gain in this? I said, I gain nothing.
Right.
To be honest, but one thing I know that I will get is the genuine love of these 6 boys who will have a better future.
Right.
And they will probably remember me for the rest of their life.
You know, like I'm a father now. So if I know that my son or my daughter is going to have you as their teacher, right? I can sleep very peacefully.
Why?
Because I know that they will learn the right things. I know that they will grow. A teacher is supposed to inspire. It's supposed to not only just deliver, but deliver it right in a very interesting, humorous way, so that they can learn. And you have all this. So I feel that like my children will be in good hands.
Well, I'm sure there are many unsung heroes out there. It's just so happened that you know me and you picked up my story and decided to do this podcast. And I'm sure there are many other lecturers and teachers out there who have done much more than me.
Still got the second half I haven't said yet. So in case I got no more money, right? Then I know this teacher got the potential to sponsor my kids to go to Australia and study. This is your last time?
I wouldn't say it's the last, because in my whole lifetime, I've actually helped quite a number of students. I have also been giving money to support poor students in Indonesia.
Right. For all these 6 students, you treat them like your son. And now that they are slowly, one by one, flying to Australia because of your good deed, what is one thing, right, that you like to tell them? You can look at the camera and let them know.
I will tell them that they need to study hard, because they are given an opportunity of a lifetime. So don't waste it. And I'm very sure the 6 of them, they are going to make me very proud. In fact, one of the boys actually told me that the day I become successful, you will be standing next to me. So I look forward to that day. 6 of them, out of the 6, 2 boys, I managed to send them to the top university in Australia. In fact, just a few days ago, one of them called me up and he was so happy because his university is now ranked number 19 in the whole world.
Wow.
So I actually told them that, look, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Who would have imagined, honestly, an unknown country? I don't want to mention the name, but if I were to tell you, you may have difficulty in pronouncing that country, the name of the country. Coming from a small village town in that country, who would have imagined that one day somebody from that place could go to the top university in the whole world? So I told them that they just need to study, and this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So I believe the reason why I actually decided to help them is because I really believe in the 6 boys, that they will do good. And I actually told them that one day when they become successful, it will be their turn to help other people.
You know, when I first started being Mave Mason, right? I gave money. And of course, there were people out there that say, oh, good job, Mave. You know, you took money from the casino, you gave to the people who needs it. But there's another group of people where they say, you hao lian lah, you know, you want to give lah. Why you come on here, talk to people on podcasts, you know, just give quietly. We can never eliminate poverty on planet Earth.
Yes.
Because the greed of some I mean, other governments out there, some authorities out there, it's always going to be there. Evil will always be there. And it's because of these people, they hoard the money and all that. And that's why people, the normal citizens will be poor. But what we can do is, we can decrease poverty by what you are doing. And that is to raise awareness that we as human beings, right, we can give other people a chance to study, to give other people like a brighter future. And who knows, maybe one of these 6 boys can become a president in that weird naming country that you were saying, and then yeah, they'll build you a palace, man.
Yes, yes, I hope so too. People will always talk, so let them talk. You know, it's just like, I remember at one stage when I was helping these 6 boys, people were thinking that I was preying on young boys. You know?
Oh.
So I actually told these people, I said, what if today I was helping 6 girls instead of 6 boys? What would you say?
You're preying on young girls.
Exactly. So
everything
then
goes
you
wrong.
do, then you don't. Yeah. So to me, it's like, if you want to help, just help. That's all.
Yeah. So we don't care about like what people say. You just make sure that you're right with your own self, your own heart, right with God, and
and
all will be well.
That's right.
Right. Or they want to use every single cent in their bank account to do something like you, to give someone else a future. Would you encourage the person to do so?
No.
Okay.
The reason is because you can only help to the extent that you could. You know what I'm saying? You have to know what you can do and what you can't do. If you were to ask me to sell away my house in Singapore to help the 6 boys, probably I won't do that, because where would I live then? So I can only help them to the extent that I could.
Yeah.
You can't sell away your daughter, your son, just because you want to help somebody, you know. I mean, that would be crazy, isn't it? Right? But if you can help lah, you know. Yeah.
And so I always say, right, if everyone would play their little bit of their part, we will live in a better world.
That's right. I believe so. There is an old proverb that says, isn't it? The society is great if good people plant trees.
Yeah.
All right. A shade of which they don't even sit.
Right.
They know that, isn't it? So then the entire society will become better.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, now I have debts to clear. And what happened here is that the 6 boys actually told me, why don't you settle your own debts first, you know, before you even want to help us in Australia. So I actually told them that in Singapore, I know that I'm able to earn.
Yeah.
I know that if I'm given teaching assignments and all that, I will be able to earn the money to clear my debts. But for them, they can't, because they are only 19 years old. When they go there, they have to you know, work in the supermarket, grocery store and all that, earning about $20 an hour.
Right.
So I told them that you don't have to worry too much about that. You just go there and concentrate on your studies and do whatever that you could.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm glad to say that, you know, I've helped quite a few people who have gone on to become successful. And also now these 6 boys, I'm very sure one day they will also become successful.
Okay, so this guy that or this person that you've helped to become successful, right? How did they start out in life, and then eventually what happened?
I think most of them started with a humble background, and they were just ordinary people. All they had was just a dream and a hope. I didn't give them money, of course, but at least I think I have a small part to play in giving them that, telling them that they should actually hold on to their dream, and today they have become successful.
Yeah, and how successful is this in terms of dollar
Some of
value?
them are very successful. I mean, I've got some people who have gone on to own about 4 to 5 companies.
Okay, multi-millionaire.
So
right. You planted a seed, you water the seed, and you grow multi-millionaires.
I wouldn't say that I'm so great lah. I mean, at least I got a small part to play. That's about it.
Yeah.
Years ago, there was this student that I taught in a school. He was a very young boy coming from another country, but a rich boy, a very rich boy. So at the age of 23 years old, I think he went back to his own country, and his father just dumped the entire family business on him.
Yeah.
And what happened was that he couldn't take the stress. At the age of 23 years old, how could he know how to run a multi-million dollars business? So he was under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And he got married, had started his family. So one day he couldn't take the stress, and he wrote on the Facebook that he wanted to commit suicide.
Oh no.
His classmates called me up, and I was teaching in the night. And we spent the whole night looking for him, we couldn't find him. What he did was he drove back to his own hometown to be with his grandfather, and we finally located him at about 3 o'clock in the morning. That night was actually Thursday night. Friday I got to teach. Sunday I got to teach. I was only free on Saturday. So I called his wife and I told her, wife, you tell him that on Saturday I'll take the first flight out of Singapore to go to that country.
Yeah.
You ask him come to the airport and meet me. So that was what he did. So he came to the airport, we sat down and chit-chat, talked. I gave him some advice. After lunch, I took the flight back to Singapore.
Right.
So I put on my Facebook jokingly and said that I went to this country for lunch, today, and everybody thought I was very rich. This boy now, he's very successful.
Oh yeah?
Very successful. He's making a lot of money in his country. Yeah.
Okay.
So he is his father of 2 now.
You know, right? On what's happening on the 13th of September?
What is happening?
Presidential election.
Yes.
You need to go and stand in to try to become president. I will vote for you.
No. Come on, please. I'm not that great.
Yeah. But thank you for sharing your story. I think we really needed this, the world is falling into some form of darkness where there's always this scare of going into an economic crisis, Russia, Ukraine, like the US and China relationship, and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It's so refreshing to see a glimpse of hope and some light from your story. And for those of you who want to have Frankie back on our next podcast, on the next episode, right, to share with us how to become a lecturer and earn $100 an hour, right? I'm sure he will share all the secrets with you, but you all must comment, right, and ask for this superstar to come back. Okay. So let's leave the rest of your stories, right, for the next episode.
Sure.
Right, but for now, once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope everyone is going to see this and they are going to do good also. In whatever job they are in, whatever community they are in, and I believe that you have made an impact, not just in the education world, but also to right now, hopefully the whole of Singapore.
Yeah.